Seabury is the most incredibly supportive community for everything creative. And I had worked in human resources and financial services as my career. And when I came here, there was a poetry writing group already going, which I joined and I'm still a part of, and have since produced 2 books of poetry, and I'm close to finishing my 3rd one. And my next door neighbor just happened to be a well-known artist and former director of the New Britain Museum of American Art. He was helping people here who wanted to do more with art, and he helped me get started and encouraged me. I mean, can you imagine? But he was so generous in that way. And so I got into painting. I started with watercolors. I still do a lot of watercolors and pen and ink. And then I love the universe, Hubble telescope things. So I started painting those. It just goes on and on and on. There's the most supportive group of people here, the residents and the staff that support the arts. And we have that wonderful gallery. And now we do every other show as a group show. I have to tell you about the hats. If you ask people about hats here at Seabury, they'll say, go see Marye Gail. Well, there's a reason for that. When we used to do musical shows, I got into costuming. So we did a Disney World show. We did a dance number with the Little Mermaids, and the dancers wore this. We did the Copacabana, and our dancers wore these. And long before that, one of the shows was called How the West Was Won. A staff woman who worked in accounting played the part that wore this hat. This hat's about half her size. And when she retired here, she gave me the hat. One of the things that I've seen happen here, because there have been a couple of different administrations during the time that I have been here, there is an ability to focus on adaptability and sustainability at the administrative level. And that's what shows up in the additional spaces, the improvement to the health services area. That's all happened during my time here. So I feel confident that Seabury is being run in a way that it's going to last for me and for the people that will be here after me. It's a long history of service to the elderly that is, part of what the background of Seabury is, but it does really play out. Talked about the upside with the creativity, but there have been a couple of rough times. One was when I realized that my husband's dementia was developing. He'd had the stroke, it left him with some impairment, but then things were getting worse. I was completely at a loss, and I went to the head then of health services, who was Marye Sullivan. And Marye was already on top of the fact of, yes, John was developing dementia and it was getting worse. And she totally guided me through a process of what we needed to do and held my hand basically at every step of the way. And I'm eternally grateful for that. It isn't just that the service was available, it was the care with which the service was administered. One of the most beautiful spiritual experiences I had here is that our chaplain and retired minister Jeff Dugan, who lives here, took a group of us, staff and residents, to Ireland for a pilgrimage to study Celtic Christianity. And it was like a 10-day trip, and Marye Sullivan and her husband also went. It was so amazing. And it was just after my husband had died. And it was so healing to visit these old sites where early Christianity thrived in a way. It just felt, I don't know, can't describe it, but it was wonderful. And that was, something that Seabury put together.